Let's all go to the game shop. Let's all go to the game shop. Let's all go to the game shop and buy ourselves some swag. What's up, nerds? It's 8:05 in the morning. It's the 4th day of October, and this, the year of our feline overlord Steve the Cat 2023. It's about 71 degrees and sunny here at Site B, and it's time to go outside, take a walk to the friendly local game store. That's if you're lucky enough to have a friendly local game store where you live, and check out the latest in tabletop role-playing game product that are on the shelves. That is, if your friendly local game store actually actively supports role-playing. Or you could live where I live, where you're in walking distance of now like a half a dozen stores that technically qualify as game shops, none of which support role-playing in any way, shape, or form. Literally, the Pacific View Mall now has 5 stores doing basically the exact same thing, none of them carrying games. It's all like blah, blah hobbies, nothing but pops. Blah, blah games, nothing but pops. Blah, blah anime, blah, blah Japan, nothing but pops. Pops as far as the eye can see. We've got 5 different stores carrying pops and stuffies. None of them are going, hey, I could, give some game shelf to D&D. Across the street, there's another game store, supposedly. It doesn't actively support. What is it? Why? But I'm not bitter. Okay, now remember, these might not be available, so if you see anything on this list that you want to get, call ahead to make sure they have it in stock. From DM Dave for 5th edition, we have Hand of 8 for $60. Previously released as a free adventure. It's filled out. It's a cohesive adventure where you trek across the wasteland and get all the way from 1st to 11th levels. So trek across the wasteland. I guess it's a point crawl or a hex crawl. I don't know how you go from free to $60, Dave, but all the good luck in the world. From our friends over at Evil Genius, we have 2 brand new setting worlds for their everyday heroes. You remember Evil Genius when they released their brand new 5e Everyday Heroes modern day role-playing games? They gobbled up a ton of movie and TV show IPs, some of which make perfect sense for game settings, other of which I'm not so sure. Like Highlander, there can be only one. How does that work? Is everybody an immortal? And they're basically, the plot is, this week, do we work together or try and kill each other? And then Total Recall. The whole point of Total Recall is kind of a self-contained story, right? So how do you have multiple characters running around in that universe, all of whom are just using Total Recall to live artificial lives? Or is it a game about playing characters in this world who also go to use Total Recall to play characters in a different world? Anyways, these are $25 each. We've got the whole thing about Mars and the companies. And then we've got the Highlander world where you all solve mysteries and bobble around. See, I mean, some IPs work for campaign settings. Now, I suppose for a short self-contained, you could do Highlander, or just follow the plot of the TV series, where every week he has to deal with an evil immortal or a series of events while hiding his immortality, and you throw in some flashbacks. But I don't know how Total Recall could work unless you just say, I'm running a dystopian cyberpunk game, and this is just the world I'm using, because it's the name recognition. I don't know. From Goodman Games, we have a character record folio for my favorite OGL D20 fantasy game, Dungeon Crawl Classics. $10 gives you a 16-page gaming aid to record every aspect of your character, also known as a $1.99 folder. From Geektopia Games, we have Fearsome Wilderness for the Year Zero system. This is a $60 campaign setting where you start as prisoners aboard a spaceship, and then you crash into a densely wooded planet, and you have to survive. So, including fearsome critters from North American folklore, including the Jackalope and Jersey Devil. So, remember that 65 million TV movie with Kylo Ren in it, where he thought he was on an alien planet, but turns out he was in Earth's past fighting dinosaurs? I guess this is the same thing, where you think you're on an alien planet, but it turns out, nope, you're on a world filled with North American cryptids. because I guess that's a thing. From Exalted Funeral, we have Cosmosaurus for Blades in the Dark. This is a hardcover rules, $30. Your player characters are dinosaurs. You player characters are also Cosmo Rangers. You're dinosaurs that travel via spaceship through the stars to help all sorts of people's planets and organizations. So think any one of 1,000 awesome Saturday morning cartoons. Dinosaurs in space, dun, dun, trying to save the human race. Dun, dun. Doesn't matter if one's a carnivore. They're working together for everything in store. They're dinosaurs in space. From Exalted Funeral, we have Lilliputian Adventures on the Open Sea hardcover and a Lilliputian Adventures on the Open Sea softcover. This is for Mouse Setter, Into the Odd, or Crane. 3 games that are completely different from each other, but okay. $40 for the hardcover, $25 for the softcover. PCs explored a vast and expensive ocean filled with uncharted islands, hidden treasures, weird weather, and unspeakable horrors. You can play humanoids or mice, but you're all from Lilliput, so you're all playing 6-inch tall people, which is why they're saying it could be Mouse Sitter or Into the Odd or Crane, because it's Lilliput. And if you remember Lilliput from Gulliver's Travels, Lilliput was the place with the first world he went to with all the teeny people. So I guess that's what they're thinking here. And as for all about, exploring an ocean filled with weirdness and islands, I don't know what that could be inspired by. It's not like there's a #1 show on Netflix right now about a group of, really unique individuals going around exploring islands. Considering how much I love Pirate Dinosaur Island, you would think I would have loved the One Piece anime, but I've never watched the One Piece anime. But I watched the One Piece live action, and I enjoyed it. Most of it. Some of it I didn't. From Dice Skim Publishing, BESM. Oh, okay. Didn't know Tritech lost the BESM license. Okay, so this is Big Eye Smallmouth, one of the original, and some consider the best anime manga role-playing game. It looks like whoever had it, but I think it was Tritech who had the license before, and it was their biggie, but now they've lost it. All right, so basically, it's a role-playing game about anime. If you can think of an anime, this game can emulate it. And then they also have a book of maps. $50 for the rules, $40 for the map book. I know I could tell you about the old system. They had a D20 version and then their Tristat system, which was overly complicated until you actually got through it, and then you went, oh, it's not as complicated as it looks, which was a thing a lot of games did around them. So it sort of reads kind of like Mutants and Masterminds without being a D&D inspired game. If you look through the old version, you're like, this is way too complicated. This is anime. But then if you actually read through it, then you're like, oh wait, okay, it's not as complicated as I thought. It's just written way too complicated. Kind of like, how Savage Worlds, when you look at Savage Worlds and you go, there's no way this game would work. And then you actually play Savage Worlds and you make a character and you're like, oh, now it makes sense. And finally, from Palladium, yes, they're still around. Eric, please, Palladium, redo Heroes Unlimited. This one should make our friend Max happy. We've got Titan Robotics Sourcebook for $27. It explores my favorite Rift's villain, Archie 3, and the Mechanoids, and it's got giant stompy robots for Rifts. And if they're, giant stompy robots, MDC, big robots doing big robot thing, and with awesome Palladium art. So, yeah, happy to see that Palladium is making some new stuff for Rifts. Though, of course, I wish they would be making new stuff for Heroes Unlimited, but that's just me. That's all the stuff today. Yeah, I mean, nothing amazing. A couple that are potentially cool. I don't know if I'd spend that much money on them. Be interesting to see if BESM somehow restarts the anime game phase. dinosaurs in space. I mean, it can't top dinosaurs in space, so I guess I'll just leave it there with dinosaurs in space. If any of these sound like something you want to pick up, call your friendly local game store if you're lucky enough to live in a city that has one, and ask them to have it in stock or to order it if they don't have it in stock. And remember to tell them the OGGM sent you. And speaking of game stores, don't forget that I am now a Giant Slayer Games affiliate. So if you wanted to pick up any tabletop role-playing game product that is available over on the amazing Giant Slayer Games website, including the latest from Wretched Vigilantes, you could use the link down below and head on over there and spend your hard-earned gaming money on stuff that would support me, like Wretched Vigilantes and the source books for Wretched Vigilantes. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. I will talk to you all later. Have a great day. Stay safe. Happy holidays.